Hi, my name is Kees and I help people from doing to being. And today I have a video and I would love to discuss with you how a goal-oriented mindset removes you from reality. So, first of all, what is a goal-oriented mindset? So to me, a goal-oriented mindset is the idea that you first of all have to have goals to be able to progress in life or to go further. But a goal-oriented mindset is where you think about the goal all the time. You want to move towards the goal, and everything you do is related to not being present in the moment, but thinking about um, how to make your dream or your goal become reality. So everything you're doing is about your goal. Everything on how you're doing it is about a goal. Um, and so it's not really about reality or accepting reality as it is. It has a sort of idea behind it that even though it's very much advised a lot of the times in popular media to have goals, the whole goal-oriented mindset removes you from reality, but also removes you from the idea that this, which is all there is, that this, the now, is not good enough. And that's actually signaling to yourself and to your environment in a way that this is not good and that you're not happy, that you need more, that you need to improve. It can also start to make you a little bit harder or disgruntled. And especially if there's a sort of idea that you, in the meantime, and that's what the goal-oriented mindset is. In the meantime, I'm working on it. Wow, it's not good, and it will be good when the goal is achieved. My life, or my work, or part of me is not fulfilled or is not good until I reach it. So, one of my teachers, he talked about that desire is actually a normal thing and a good thing, but the personal insistence on that desire or trying to reach that desire while not being just in line with the moment or just being relaxed, that is actually a hindrance, or it can be something where you are holding yourself back in lots of ways. So a goal, or to have the idea I would like to do this, that's totally fine. But the goal-oriented mindset is more than that. Usually when people set a goal, they think about, but how do I make it practical? How am I going to day do something which will make the goal come quicker, and um, sort of they want to jump to a moment in time where the goal is achieved. And when you do that, you're kind of saying, okay, this time until the goal is achieved is miserable. And I'm just working on achieving. And that's actually not a fun time. You're robbing yourself of a lot of fun in the process. And that process is extremely important, because if you don't enjoy your process, then you're actually not, you're not having a fun time lots of the times. And what happens if you're in a goal-oriented mindset, once you reach a goal, you cannot really enjoy it so long, and you usually tend to set another goal. If you make, let's say, if you make 1 million, you want to make 2 million, and there's always somebody better. If you, let's say, I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If I, for example, would get a blue belt, which I'm only a white belt, I did it for 2 years, but if let's say I would get a blue belt, then I would think about, I should try now to work towards getting a purple belt. So it's just this constant idea of you have to improve. So if you put a goal, it's okay to want something. Let's say if I'm in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's okay for me to want to be a blue belt, but it's much nicer for me to want to have fun in practice. And then that blue belt will come. But it's okay to have the goal, or let's say to want to have the blue belt in the end. But it's better not to think about that too much. And it's better not to think about how am I going to get a blue belt. No, it's much nicer to enjoy your practices in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or in anything you do, enjoy the daily things you do and do it from a place of love. And when you're doing it because you love it, and you're doing it from a good place, from your heart, let's say, then the good results will come. Usually when you love the process, you can keep up with it and you can stay with that process for a longer time. And because of that, because it's natural to you and because you love the process, you will get good at the things you love. And this is actually great because so many people, if you're thinking about a goal-oriented mindset, then it not only from a spiritual perspective removes you from the present moment, removes you from the now, what it also does is that it gives you a sort of feeling of not being enough. It can even sort of give you the idea that you're not doing well, even though you're sticking to the process or doing what you love. And then also in the process of getting these goals, or thinking about goals, or having a goal-oriented mindset, you can set certain goals where you don't actually want to do the process. And you can then hate on yourself for not doing the process. It's much, much better because if you would not like the process and you would be able to stick to it to hit the goal, then you're kind of creating a setup and you're investing in something which you don't like. And it's also saying that your natural feelings, your natural inspiration is not good. And when sometimes your natural inspiration is, let's say, to keep a bad habit going, and then why is that? That's because, first of all, probably it still has a certain role in your life. You haven't outgrown it, so you need to outgrow it in lots of ways. And probably if it's a bad habit, then you have inspiration for that bad habit, then usually there's also a problem behind it. It's a sort of, there's some shadow work for you to do. Shadow work is work on the things which you've repressed, because some of the things that you've repressed might have the answer to why you're having this inspiration to do bad things to your life or destructive things. So, and there could be some limitations there usually are in your subconscious, and you can find them by focusing on how it makes you feel and sort of the rules you set for yourself. So if you want to be balanced, if you want to be in touch with reality, you don't want to, then a goal-oriented mindset is not a good thing for you. Why? It's because a goal-oriented mindset brings you to another reality. It brings you away from this reality, which always is, and it brings you to another reality, and that other reality that might never come. You're investing in something which is not here. So you're living in a sort of dream world. And that could be okay, but it's not okay if you're not let's say if you're not present for the process to that end goal. So in a way you're creating an end goal where you don't like the process or the day-to-day. And then in the end, you'll set another goal. Let's say you make 1 million, you then want to make 2 million. You make yourself more miserable in the process. So what I like is a very different approach than a goal-oriented mindset. And that is follow your inspiration and don't push yourself. Just be who you are and then naturally feel your inspiration, your inclination, and follow that. And that way you get things and you start to explore things which you actually like and which are very easy for you to keep up with and very easy for you to follow the process in. Because these are things that you already would like. And these things that you already like, you get good at them really easily. And oftentimes you're also talented at them because there's a sort of intuition or sort of life is telling you, hey, this is actually a skill of yours. This is something you can do. This is something you can explore. But sometimes our rational mind or our goal-oriented mind or the ideas that society has put in our minds are keeping us back from or removing us from the reality where the now is already okay and is already good, and we can just follow our inspiration, and that inspiration or that our good feelings, our excitements, they bring us more excitement and good feelings. If you want to feel good in your job, follow your good feelings. Then you end up in a sort of balanced situation where you make money and you feel good doing that. And maybe that's a very busy job where you get lots done, and maybe that's a very, let's say, chill, relaxed job. Or maybe it's your own business. There's many answers. There's not one answer, of course. But one thing I know for certain is that if you're on a spiritual path, a goal-oriented mind, even if that's a spiritual goal, is not acceptance, and it's not living in the present moment, and it's not bringing you more in touch with reality. It's actually removing you from reality. By saying the now is not okay, I need to move up in life. I need to get to this goal. There's a saying in Chinese Taoism where they say, the wise man does not strive. Right? The wise man accepts this and knows that actually in Tao, it's kind of like non-dualism or Advaita Vedanta. It's the same thing where you accept the present moment and you understand that the present moment is all there is, and everything that is and can be is just energy. So nothing can actually improve. And once we realize that, the pressure of what we need to become for society drops away, because we realize there is no society, there's just energy, and we can just there is nothing that changes that. There's nothing that's different, and what we really are, who we truly are, energy or consciousness, does not die. It will always continue. Then we can lose our sense of, okay, this is so important for us to reach a certain goal in life. And that's one way in which your goal-oriented mindset can drop, and you can just be in the present moment and follow your natural inclinations and inspirations. And then you're at peace, while maybe doing being very productive at your job, or being very productive in your own company, or being a very busy gardener. All different possibilities that can happen from your natural inclinations. It's not that what we often think is that we would just sit on our ass if we don't set goals or put pressure on ourselves. No. We sit on our ass mostly because we're either tired or we're not inspired, or we're tired from not being inspired. So next to maybe some diseases which you could have, which then need to, of course, be fixed or be looked at. Or it could be energy blocks, and there's energy work or letting go of limitations, which can help you there, or hypnotherapy, which I discussed in another episode with Mark. So there are things there to help you. There are different options there. But the message here is you would not sit on your ass. Because I don't know if you ever had a longer vacation than 3 or 4 weeks or been between jobs. It's not that nice to just sit down on the couch the whole for weeks in Netflix or something like that, or game, or whatever you like. This is not that's not fun for anybody. Everybody wants to contribute. Everybody wants to add value. Everybody wants to be wants to work with fun people. Want to collaborate. Everybody has good intentions usually. Of course, sometimes they might be a little bit. There might be blockages, but their trust in you. That's my main message. Trust in you and trust in reality and in life. And by trusting, you can let go a little bit of the idea that you need to control or steer or strive or put these goals there and work hard and push yourself. And you can let go a little bit more and relax and see actually, wow, okay, when I relax, I don't per se, I relax mentally. I don't per se do less work or do less activities. No, I do different activities. And I do it with more grace, more gentleness, more love. Because I haven't pushed myself to do something which I don't like, which I don't want. So, this was my message for you and for those on the spiritual path. I hope it helps, and I'm still evolving, and let's evolve together. Thanks for now. Bye.